Hey, it's Richie and Wes.
He's Richie.
And he's Wes.
And this is our show. Welcome back to the trashy podcast that is Richie and Wes.
Back again.
We hope you know us from our random internet mischief, but if you don't, we're happy to have you along for the ride.
And get ready, because it's always a bumpy one.
It sure is. Speaking of internet mischief, on our last episode, I mentioned I was not using Twitter anymore, that I'm only using Threads.
Mm-hmm.
And I was typing away to become a viral thread sensation. And last week I had my first viral thread.
Welcome to the club.
Over 3,000 likes.
Oh, shit.
Over 500 comments.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a point where
How does it feel to be internet famous?
I mean, I'm clear that I was famous. Like, I'm not famous for being mindful or demure, but
Oh, God.
what's wild about having that happen is like, yeah, sure, on Instagram, my reels sometimes get, you know, I think I've had some reels that get like, I don't know, like 30 or 40,000.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's crazy for me. But usually those people just like them and they just watch them. They don't even necessarily comment or what have you. But on a platform like Threads, people really feel the need to be adding their opinions to things. And in real time, I was kind of watching this happen where it was like, oh, wow, this got 50 likes. What, 75? Oh, there's 150 likes. Like, I'm literally watching it just jump.
Is it not weird?
It's very weird.
Yes.
And then I was texting Richie Rich like, oh my God, I just went viral. What do I do? What do I do?
And at that time, it was like 70 likes or something like that.
It really wasn't.
And I made the joke, I'm like, well, at least it's not like 1.2 million views and 22,000 likes and 1,700 comments, and now here you are.
Yeah, because you've had quite a few tweets like really take off.
Yes,
so
I had 3 the other day out of nowhere. And again, I don't have notifications for social media for that reason.
I don't either.
Because I don't want to see every single comments and the trolls, like...
That's the thing, and that's why I reached out to you, because it gets to a point where, like, okay, you post something, and it, starts to get big, and you're like, oh, okay, and in real time, I am trying to reply to people or whatever, and I will say the vast majority of people were overwhelmingly in agreement. All I said
That's usually what it is, unless you're, like, completely on the wrong side of wrong.
All I said was that I was on a hike with a friend of mine. We were talking about how sometimes not all, certainly not all, but some straight women can sort of treat a queer space as though it's a spectacle for their amusement, especially with like bachelorette parties and stuff like that. And we're having this talk, and I look behind me, and there's 2 very angry straight girls. I felt there was, there's a little quip at the end. Nothing wrong, nothing bad was said. I got told to go fuck myself. I got told I was a misogynist. I was told it's always the cis white gay boys who presume anyone that looks like a woman in a gay space is straight, blah, blah. And how we need to talk about how, blah, blah. You can talk about that all you want to.
Yes.
I'm talking about this.
Stay on topic.
What I'm talking about.
Stay on. Oh my God. At least it's not like Twitter, because the second someone disagrees with you, it's always an insult on how you look or something, or the screenshot of the profile picture. I have the blessing of having a really loyal following. Then we actually DM each other and talk to each other. I've met a bunch of them in person, and it's always someone without a profile picture, first of all. But then they'll come and again, I don't even see this stuff in real time. I'll it's hours later. Yeah. And I'm like, why am I mentioning all? And they're like, really? Like, it doesn't work with cute people. It's like, you're really making fun of a model. Look at his pin tweet. Like, it was like, it's that's the funny part of it, because like you do have people that will hopping to defend you, and it's
Oh
like,
my god, yes,
that's the good feeling.
because you had said, because normally I would be like kind of like you do. I post, I
yeah,
click, because I usually read through my feed a little bit, post what I'm going to post,
yeah,
and then I click off.
hmm
It just so happened someone else had responded to something else, and I was
Yeah.
just still on Threads while this happened to like start to propagate out to the larger world. And there were a number of people who seemed to be confused about how I would know that they were straight girls. I'm like, first of all, it's a little punchline at the end of the story.
literally.
Who knows? Maybe they smelled some dog shit on the trail.
Yes.
That's what they were making stanky faces about. But my reaction was not based on their appearance. It was based on their reaction.
Yes.
But of course, a couple of people too chimed in at the whole like, we worked so hard to get rights, and now you're trying to take them away from people. What rights am I taking away from people?
Right?
by
It's like,
not-
that's
by
not
asking them not to be assholes.
Yes. No one said ban straight women from gay spaces. No. Behave accordingly.
Well, that was the funny part, because you had said, like, do you have the mental bandwidth to deal with this? To
Exactly.
respond to people?
And I said that
like
because when I first went viral, I'm pretty shy,
Mhm.
believe it or not. You know me in real life. I'm just, I keep to myself, and I don't like attention like that.
Yeah.
So I was kind of having extreme anxiety, and it was
Yeah, because it wasn't my intention to piss people off.
no, and I was used to just like a couple of people here and there that
Yeah.
I know and converse with daily, on social
Yeah.
media,
Well, that's why I
like
use
chiming
social
in and
media,
whatnot.
too.
But it was very much like, holy
It's
fuck.
overwhelming.
Like, thousands of people are seeing my words, my thoughts, forming an
Mhm.
opinion about me. Like, it was really like
Mm-hmm.
it was like, whoa, this is weird. Because I do view things like, okay, like 10 people are like, saw this. Imagine a room of 10 people physically in front of you.
Yeah.
Okay, now imagine thousands or millions of
Mhm.
people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and you're the target. It was very, very weird. But yeah, I was like, do you have the mental bandwidth to deal with this?
To which, some of them certainly, if they were just rude or insulting,
Yeah.
you can hide comments
Yes.
on Threads, and then
Mhm.
I would just block them because there's
Yeah.
just no reason for that. I'm not going to tolerate that. And then there was someone who kind of along the whole, you're trying to take people's rights away.
Yeah.
And just as I was about to like, should I hide this? Should I
Uh-huh.
respond? Someone else responded like, you don't have the right to be an asshole, but here you are.
Damn. That's what I would have said, actually.
No, and I actually really applaud how you're able to like clap back at people and all that stuff. Like, I really only responded positively to the positive comments.
Yeah.
The negative comments I didn't worry about.
Yeah.
'Cause that's not what I was talking about.
Yeah. And like now, my mental bandwidth is just, do I really want to like
Yeah.
roast this person or not? Like, it's no longer about like, am I going to be affected by this?
Yeah.
How can it trigger me possibly?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just like, do I have the time
Right.
to be petty?
Right.
No, I'm gonna have them talk to a wall.
Yes, they can talk. That's the thing.
Yes.
What you'll realize is that some people will deliberately misconstrue anything so they can argue with themselves.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing is that because I did one time because now again like I literally post and I just mute, just so it's not even in my notification feed on the app. So I don't even know what anyone's saying half the
Mhm.
time. But I have gone back just as like see if I need to reply to like someone that I know or
Yeah.
whatever, and like it'll be like, yep, he didn't have anything else to say about this, and I was like, oh hi, by the way, yeah, I mute all my posts, so you've really just been up like this isn't the gotcha you think it is. It's just
No.
I just don't care to. What I said is what I said, and nothing you're going to say is gonna circle me back onto how you feel about this.
Especially if it's off fucking topic.
Yeah,
Like,
so I'm just like,
who are
so
you?
I'm like, this isn't the gotcha that no. It's like I just mute all you hoes in general, good or bad, because I choose what I want to react to on social media.
And I think that's very smart because it is easy to, like I said, even though most people were agreeing or telling their own
Yeah.
stories about, being in queer spaces, what have you, it would be very easy to dial in on those 5 negative comments or 10 negative comments or whatever it was and to let that affect you. Because
Yeah.
it does.
Yeah,
Because like I said, it's
100%.
not like I was trying to piss
Sorry, I don't know why my
people
voice just went up right there. Yeah!
So it is, very easy to get dragged down by that negativity. So it does also make me realize, and this segues into my first real topic, now that I've talked about myself for 10 minutes,
No, that was a good topic though.
is what it must be like to really actually have any level of fame.
Yes.
Such as Chaperone,
Mm.
who has always said she's blowing up too fast. This has been difficult for her.
Yeah.
She wasn't expecting this level of notoriety, and it's been a lot just for her mental health.
Yeah.
And she went on social media this week and
Mhm.
called the fuck out of, how else do I put this? Crazy people
Yes.
who are currently stalking her family?
Yes.
Bitch, no.
It's nuts.
That is,
This new whole
I would be
generation,
terrified.
and I'm not saying generation like any Gen Z. Like, no, I mean this as a whole internet generation.
yes.
is very over the top
It's
and
way
crazy.
too
They'll dox you,
Yes.
which is weird in itself. They'll find you. I told you about that weird ass fucking Barb that flew across country to try to fight someone over Stan beef on Twitter and ended up being arrested by the cops.
As she should be.
Live streamed, mind you. The dad came out, and the guy was a minor. Flew out to try to fight a minor. Found out what his address was.
I don't have the energy for that.
No!
Even if someone really pissed me off
Yes.
by saying something very personally, deprecating about me.
I'm not going next door to argue with anyone, let alone booking a goddamn flight. I'm sorry. No.
You booked a plane ticket?
Oh, and then was on there asking his followers to send him money to get back.
No.
I'm not, I can't. And then come to find out, the dude's homeless. And not like a normal homeless, like I got down on my luck or... No, just caring about the wrong shit. Spending money on Nicki Minaj tickets and merch and shit.
Flying out to go fight
Yes,
teenagers.
and then on TikTok begging his followers for money. I do each day, can someone cash at me $20? The internet generation currently is so weird.
It's very weird. It's very toxic. Someone who, like Chaperone, who has already verbalized
Mm-hmm.
her, because she says this at concerts too. The first time I heard it was her announcing it to a crowd of
Yeah.
people, and then to be like, "Oh, well, that's what you get when you're famous." No,
No.
no. That is not what you get when you're
Right.
famous. That's what you get when people are
Fucking
insane.
nuts.
That ain't right. And even the people who are sort of positive stands.
Uh-huh.
I know we have many Taylor Swift fans who listen to this show, and this is not a general statement about Taylor Swift or her many wonderful fans. However,
You're being way nicer than I was going to be.
however,
Mind you, the nice one is the white guy.
Yeah.
If you're looking at our picture, because we have been attacked before, especially you for some reason. Even though I'm the one with the salty takes on the show, and you're the one that gets attacked.
people come for me.
It's so weird. I'm like, he's the nice one.
But I was reading a thread about the DNC and
Mhm.
how one of the things I think is real silly about the DNC was the thing that reporters on NBC but also just commentary online was about, ooh, is Beyonce going to be there? Is Taylor Swift going to be there?
Yeah.
Who the fuck cares if a pop star is going to be there?
Thank you.
This is the Democratic National Convention
Yes.
where the next,
Yes.
hopefully, next president of the
Yes.
United States is addressing the nation.
Exactly.
So anyway, someone was speculating that it was going to be Taylor Swift was going to show up.
Oh, God.
Because there's been a lot of
Yeah.
stuff with Taylor and all the red hats lately. And one of her fans was like, no, because her chart flight info shows that she just landed in Nashville.
Yes.
Okay, that's fucking scary.
Girl, that's a Twitter.
That is
Tracking her, like, dedicated to tracking
No.
where her jet is going.
that's
Like, that's
terrifying.
crazy. Which is, it's public information, but that's
It-
strange.
It
That's
shouldn't
weird.
be that public.
Exactly.
It could be public, but you gotta search that
Yes.
shit.
But also, like, who has the time to even do that? Why? You're dedicating your life to running a page to track
I think that's
someone's
automated.
plane.
I'm sure that's automated, but that you're following that page and you know
Anyways.
when and where she
Like,
landed.
that's-
That you can respond to someone on social media where she's at right now.
That's
Take a step back.
log off.
Buy another vinyl.
Variant number 18,000. Don't get me started on that. Oh my God.
Wow. Also, leave Chapel Roan alone.
Yes.
Her stage persona is clearly, at this point now, clearly visualized.
Mhm.
She's basically like Kiss
Yes.
or whoever, you know, a drag
Yes.
performer. That is
Lady
her,
Gaga when she first came out.
Lady Gaga, exactly.
Yes.
That is her persona on stage when she's doing her music. And then she is just a normal red-headed girl.
Yep.
Any other time. Don't stalk her family.
Ooh, that's so
Please.
gross and weird.
I find that even strange. I think we talked about this last week too, just about like seeing celebrities out and about. Because we're
Yeah.
in Hollywood, so of course
Mhm.
we're going to see celebrities out. It is always very telling when friends of mine get bizarrely starstruck and cannot control their bodies or their mouths. Like, you live here.
Exactly.
Calm down.
You should be immune to this.
We're in this is a Whole Foods. Like, you, I could understand it a little more
Mhm.
if someone is from a very remote area where they certainly have never seen
Yeah.
somebody that famous walking through or what have you.
Yeah.
But still no,
Yeah.
because I feel like social media gives us such access.
Oh yeah.
All of
Remember, like,
these
a sighting was
people.
like a rare thing.
right.
Like,
Now, like, you can just punch up someone's page and they're
Yeah.
basically talking right at you.
exactly. Or they're on live and you can actually interact with them in real time.
Yeah.
It's everyone is accessible now. So like, stop fucking freaking out about shit.
Well, and look, there are plenty of people whose work I admire. They've
Yes.
inspired me. I think they're amazing. There's an appropriate time and a place to be
1,000%.
saying that, and it's not when you first meet them.
No. While they're literally probably halfway asleep getting coffee and their breakfast sandwich
Or
at Bristol
just trying
Farms.
to enjoy a margarita
Yes.
and hitting from their, weed pen or
Yes.
something. Like, calm down. Yeah, it's not necessary. If you happen to become friends with someone and then later
Yeah.
on broach that subject, okay. But you don't need to lead with that. You know and they know.
Well, something else that we know,
What's next?
and I'm a little bit shocked, and this took me completely off guard. And I'm totally lying because
I was like, I kind of know when you're being sarcastic,
Yes.
and
because J-Lo and Ben are getting divorced.
I thought they already broke up.
It was all
I swear to
speculation.
God, I thought they were already.
It's all speculation, but Jennifer's reps have released, and I will say this, damn smart timing to release it during the DNC the other day. because that shit wasn't trending. I haven't seen shit about it really because it's if you're going to announce something that you're going to get roasted for, and we all saw coming anyways. Hell, dude, when there's something way bigger than you going on, that way it's just going to get buried.
I've seen a little bit about it, and what I've seen is a bit surprising given the internet's general hatred of Jennifer Lopez.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is on her side. Everyone is 100% on J-Lo's side. This is why we said this in the remember 2 years ago. We fucking said this.
Yes.
Never go back.
No.
You never break up with someone and then
I've only done it once, and that was with my ex-husband. And that before we were married.
And now you're divorced.
And he's tried. A year and a half ago, he slid inside my Facebook Messenger, and all I saw was his name pop up. And all I saw was, it gives you like a little, like, the first couple of words, and then ... It still is unopened. It said, hey, I've been thinking about you lately. How are ... And I said, and scroll on past. I'm not opening up that at all. That you're aware, back there where you belong.
I am sure there are some outliers.
I wish you nothing but the best. But I don't need you in my life for a reason. I paid to have you out of my life.
Yeah, anecdotally, I don't know anyone that has ever worked for.
No.
I had an aunt that was very
that's right. Oh my God, yes.
2 kids who were both about like my age, so we kind of grew up like brothers because we actually all lived, myself, my cousins, and then my kind of step grandparents. Well, they weren't my own step grandparents, they were my brother's grandparents. Anyway, and then my uncle, like we had a lot of people that kind of lived all in the same street, a few blocks away, whatever. So I grew up with my cousins, and then my aunt and my uncle got a divorce.
Yeah.
And then they got remarried and had another baby, which we're all glad for that because, you know, we love her.
Yeah.
But then they got divorced again.
Right.
Afterwards. Like, y'all could have done that without walking down the aisle again.
Literally.
Like, I mean, you can hook up with your ex.
That's fine. Done that before.
That could be fun.
Yes.
This is not for old times.
Yes. But going back to the same relationship, like they haven't changed. And
even if they have,
it doesn't mean it's really good. And you've also probably changed as well.
Exactly.
There's
a reason you broke up in the first place.
Take those lessons and then just go into something else. It's good. Lord.
I don't want to comment on anything that I don't know about, but I can't, especially after they got back together, I don't recall ever seeing anything with them together where they looked remotely happy.
No. And I told her, dumbass, like she's my friend or something, but I told her, dumbass, fucking 12 years ago to not fucking do videos with your man, and you don't write a song about your man, because that's just a kiss of death. And what does she do?
Spent $30 million on a movie about this one.
And had a Dear Ben 2 song on the album, and shot another video recreating the same goddamn video that she had the last time. And then what happens? Now they're gone. We all make mistakes. Some things are very hard to break.
Multiple
But girl.
times. But yeah,
Girl.
the take home is
You need to move forward. You don't need to go back and rewind.
we're not going back.
No. But speaking of going back, again, we segue so easily on this show. We don't plan, we don't do notes. This is how we communicate. Have you seen the trailer for Y2K?
No.
It just dropped the other day. It's A24, if you can put a picture of a toilet and it'll say by A24, and I'm like, and sold.
Interesting.
Something's gonna happen. It's gonna be good.
I'm curious.
Already know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you know when people do like nostalgia pieces, most times, especially if you live in the era, you're like, okay, this is not how it was. They're overly. It doesn't really represent the time most times.
Right.
But when it's done well, it's like, damn, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
This perfectly It's a horror comedy, and it perfectly embodies what happened in 1999 and what we all thought was going to happen, at least in my fucking weird-ass fucking mind.
For those of you who were born in the 21st century,
Yes.
we old people were also still dependent on very computers and technology,
Yes.
and there was a systematic issue with the date turning over to
Yes.
2000 because some just used the last two digits, which would be 00. Does that mean the computer would think it's going back to 1900?
Yeah.
So there was the Y2K scare.
And by scare, it's not like it was like a couple of tin hat people. No, this was on the news that things just might shut down. What if airplanes stop
Did you not
mid-flight?
think that like traffic lights would stop working and
Yes! I was like, what if someone's mid-flight? Like, that's how... Like,
they're
again,
just gonna drop out of the
this
air.
is not like some internet rumor. Like, no, this was reported on all news. Like, none of us knew what the fuck was going to happen, and it was so fucking scary because you really didn't know if we would just wake up and if there's no lights and water's not running because
It's all solar power now.
it's nuts. So this movie is literally about the last night of 1999, and what happens is that the electronics fucking go crazy and start killing people. There is like,
which is what I wanted to see.
there's a Tamagotchi attached to something else, and it lights someone on fire.
Oh my god! Yeah. Instead, absolutely nothing.
Nothing happened, thank God. But this
That's
I was all,
hilarious.
this is exactly what I thought. I thought that things would just start fucking up and exploding, and
I was waiting for it.
so yeah, it's like this group of teenagers in a home, and they're being stalked by their technology.
Oh
Once
my
the ball
God.
drops, I'll show you the trailer after the show. But
That's
it is
amazing.
amazing.
I am really down to see that. The reason that nothing ever happened, by the way, is because coders, programmers, IT
Yeah.
people who do more than just tell you to unplug your machine, plug it back in.
Exactly. They're not the Geek Squad.
They all work.
Mind you, never go to the Geek Squad, by the way.
And if you want to lose some money, go for it. But
Yes.
they all worked behind the scenes, configuring everything, testing everything.
Mm.
And the reason, quote unquote, nothing happened is because something did happen.
Mm.
It's they worked on this fix. Some of it was bullshit.
Yeah.
And there were some charlatans who were doing like system checks, this whole like weird micro industry pop
Yeah.
of people wanting to do like system checks and
Yeah.
all this stuff, which wasn't like legitimate in any way.
Mm.
What a time.
Right.
Nothing.
Oh my God.
Nothing happened. The
Nothing
ball
happened.
dropped?
Yes. But also, we're gonna go see Y2K when it comes out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You're gonna crack up when you see the trailer, but like, and it looks perfect too.
Mm.
The fashion is
I love
right
it when
on
they
point.
can drop you into a more modern period piece
Yes.
and get it right. I think that's
Mhm.
why people really liked Stranger Things.
Yeah,
Was
they did a really good
because-
job.
Well,
Really
also a
good
lot of
job.
that cast grew up in the 80s, so
Yeah.
they were the 80s exactly.
Mhm.
And the kids were just great.
Yes.
So, yeah, but they didn't overdress them
No.
with some of the weirder stuff that was going on.
Yeah.
Like 80s movies and TV shows at the time, again, I have seen reruns, they were over the top.
Yes.
The shoulder pads and
Oh
the
my
fucking
God,
hair,
yes.
and that no one on 80s TV, actual 80s TV, looked remotely like
Yeah.
anyone else in America, even in LA.
Yes.
It was just ridiculously over the top, like in a fantastic way, but it was not representative at all of the time.
No.
Well, that sounds fun. Speaking of time period pieces, picture it. 1995.
Well, Sicily.
Yeah. Picture it. The year is 1995. Friend of the show, Annie M. Huber, just wrote her debut novel, just published her debut novel.
Yes.
Consensual Scars. And I will leave a link for Consensual Scars in the notes on Amazon. You can get a paperback, and it takes place in 1995. I would call it like a coming of age mid-90s
Yeah.
journey that takes place in Indiana with a lot of psychedelics. And I'm only a few chapters in, and I guess I'm a slow reader, or it's hard. It's weird. All my phone stuff is blacklit in the back, completely black,
Mm.
and I see white text. So something for seeing a white page and black text now fucks me up.
Oh my god, I toggled off
reading
of
it
dark mode
slowly.
on Twitter just once.
It's horrible.
And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, what is this so ugly? Oh my god, like turn it back, turn it back, turn it back. This
Yeah,
is
and I
gross.
get why books have white pages because that would be an insane amount of ink to
Yes.
print. So it's taken me a little while. I haven't gotten yet to the act of violence that changes everything,
Oh.
as is promised on the back cover. So I'm just a few chapters in, but so far it is really fun. She does such a great job. It's all first person
Mm.
from this character's perspective. She does a great job of not only describing herself, but other people and how she feels in relation to them, or, you know, the setting and the scene and the environment. You just really know who this character is.
Yeah.
Right from the drop. And you're really following her on this journey. So if you're a reader, and I hope you are, I keep telling her she needs to do an audiobook.
I'll narrate it.
I would yeah, there you go.
That's my thing. Like if you're just I have become a weird enthusiast for all things that I have no interest in for the most part, but I've become very infatuated with.
Yeah. Oh, you're
And-
talking about the TikTokers.
Yes,
The TikTokers who just read books.
there are like you see like the actual like there are a couple of TikTok accounts that I follow now that it's they're book narrators. That's their job.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and they're
And you literally just you're seeing them in studio and you just see them recording, and it's so soothing because their voices are so just it's ASMR, but it's you don't think about how that process is. You get an audiobook, you listen to it, like that's about it.
Yeah.
So it's fascinating to me to see these people do these things. And they're going back and they're redoing the line because they caught themselves either like, oh yeah, no, I didn't like how I said that word, so they're gonna go back, and then you'll see them get the revisions from the companies about what lines they either misspoke or add more feeling to this, and you're seeing them do that. It's really fascinating. I urge anyone just to go see it and watch it because it's just interesting to me.
It's so calming.
It really is, and like now I'm like it's been like 3 months now. I've been following like this girl. She's done these 2 different books, and I know what the hell's going on in the books now. And it's cool because they interact with you too. Because I'm like, oh my god, like are we on to a different like chapter? She's like, oh my god, yeah, Richie, yeah. Like I'm just starting to do the next,
Cute.
Like chapter in this. But now I'm like, I kind of want to do that.
You could read Consensual Scars on your TikTok.
Yes,
You should.
it's so and
The main character is a white girl from Indiana.
right. No, but like it was no, but like this the account I follow, and again I will shout her out on a later episode. But she actually like has done a walkthrough. She's like, this is like I started this like 2.5 years ago, just as a hobby. I thought it'd be cool to get into.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to do this, this is what you need to do. This is how I did it. She's all, this is my space. She's like, and yes, my space is my closet. Well, it was the closet when she first started out.
Yeah.
She's like, I bought these cheap foam mats on Amazon. Here's the link if you guys want to do this. I bought this really cheap microphone, blah, 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 blah. And these are the people I reached out to. And like, it's like, that's what I do love about social media. I don't like gatekeepers at all. So I'm like, I don't think there's any harm in just letting people know how to get into something, especially something obscure like that.
Everything has, even if you and someone that you know, or like 5 other people that you don't know, are also going up for the same thing. One, I know jobs are scarce, but they're only going to pick one anyways.
Exactly.
And you just have to recognize that you may or may not be that thing.
Yes.
And that's that attitude you really have to go into, as you know, any audition process.
Yes.
Just because you go in doesn't mean you're going
Mhm.
to get it. If you're going to get it, you're going to get it whether there's 100 other people that
Yes.
go in for the job
Yes.
or 2.
But it's like, what? I'm like, why would you not? I mean, why would you want someone else to claw their way and do bad decisions
Mhm.
once you're successful in something?
Yeah.
Because wouldn't you like to have someone who would have helped you out along the way or give you some kind of a guideline?
Mentoring is a thing.
I do it with the
and-
show. Oddly
yeah.
enough, I've had plenty of people like, so I I want to do a podcast, blah blah. And I'm like, okay, well, don't waste any money on these expensive things. Do not like. We've done all of that, and what worked for us were fucking lapel mics that plug into a laptop, and that's just it works, and
Yeah, it's fine.
that's just that. Like, don't and, but it's like I don't like people who's like cagey about like it's some trade secret. No,
Yeah.
something's a niche situation. Help someone out.
I like to see that even behind the scenes of how they film TV shows and
Yes.
shit like that. I just think that's interesting.
It
There's
is,
so
and it
much
gives you an
goes
insight of
into
like,
it.
oh, okay, so like this is how I
Oh,
can do
that's how
that,
they
and that's
do
how they
that.
do this.
Oh, you can
Yeah.
set it up that way, and why not? That's the whole point.
See,
That's the
Annie,
whole
I will
point of
gladly narrate your book. I've
Yeah.
been practicing by myself,
art.
thanks to my
God.
lovely friends on TikTok.
I think that would be a great crossover.
Right.
I'm totally here for it. And we'll have to have her back on the show to talk about the book and some of the characters in it, especially since I know I'm the inspiration
Yes.
for one of them. So, speaking of inspiration,
We're here. No, I'm kidding. Do not inspire to be us, please.
Last week, right after we recorded the show, news broke that this showrunner, what's his name? Bo DeMaio?
Mhm.
Sent lewd pictures of himself as inspiration.
Yes,
to- All I could think about was that Magneto scene.
That's all everyone went to.
Wrapped up.
That I clicked on that.
Strapped up.
I clicked on his name under trending on
Underwear.
Twitter, and it was a sea of the same picture for everyone. Like, oh, now we know how they got this scene. And
I do not mean to make light out of any situations that may have occurred. However, since that time, and we are only not even a full week later, there has been back and forth going on. This has been a feud.
yes, mind you, he
Between
said he
him,
was.
his
Mind you, he
lawyer.
said he's going to be
Yeah.
taking a break. That lasted a whole
No.
17 hours.
This is a feud because Marvel and Disney shot back. He shot back. Then his lawyer got involved.
Mind you, I'm sorry. Is he his own legal counsel? Because that did not sound like.
Apparently, this guy, Brian Friedman, who does not have the, let's say, like, he's not very articulate in
No.
his press.
It
releases.
sounded
Because
like.
his
It sounded like
lawyer-
Bo. It sounded like a BFF.
Yes!
It's a load of crap.
Yes. His lawyer is saying, you realize that Disney allowed Bo to have an OnlyFans page while working for the company. No clue if someone quit while he was show running. But that's like every single day on every single show. You're a lawyer?
I can create
I
a
don't believe
better
that.
fucking statement than that.
Chat GPT.
Literally.
Come up with something better than, girl, that is not professional. No. That's not professional.
At all.
But anyway, their side is claiming that none of that ever happened, and there were no lewds ever sent to anyone ever.
Which, mind you, I'm sorry, and I hate the mouse. But you think
Eh.
Disney's going to make up something like that without actual evidence and proof and HR documentation? Like, no.
I just, like I said, I don't want to. I think we're making fun of the ridiculous of the situation and not the incidents that occurred,
Yes, exactly.
because any of that alleged stuff is bullshit and you should not have to deal with that at work. However, at this point, like this feuding back and forth, like You know what? Just show us the photos. We'll
Right.
be the judge. We'll be the judge.
Just send it to Richie and Wes on Twitter. We will do a thorough investigation on.
And we will have a full verdict
Exactly.
by...
Based on our findings. Very, very thorough investigation. We will go through every single pixel just to make sure.
Just let us see. At this point...
Oh my god, so there is
Oh, no segue for this one.
Golden Girls.
Oh, Golden Girls
Discourse.
doesn't need a segue. Wait, what?
Yes. So
Like good discourse. There can't be bad discourse.
it's not bad. It's just something I literally just didn't realize.
What?
Okay, so it's this girl on TikTok, and it's also on Twitter. But she was like, I never realized this, but the math ain't mathin' with the Golden Girls. She said the entire time, because Golden Girls is in High Stand, if you're listening, writer on the Golden Girls, and I guess
friend of the show.
friend of the
guest of the
show. She was like, and this is what I never even realized either. There have been inconsistencies with Blanche's children, blah, 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 blah. The amount of them, the
Sure.
ages, that stuff is going to happen.
It's just
But she said one thing that's very consistent is that Dorothy always says that she and Stan had 38 years of marriage. But when the show started, she was supposed to be in her mid to late 40s. Also, her kids are in their 20s and 30s. So how the fuck does this make any sense? That was like, oh yeah, they couldn't have, because the story was that Stan stood her up at prom. But they had 38 years of marriage, and let's say at the oldest she was 48. They weren't married at 10, and she didn't go to a prom at age 10.
Okay, so now here's what I want to know. I
Yes.
want to know if you do a deep dive, if that number just keeps going up.
Right.
Like if Dorothy just keeps adding, you know what I mean? Because it was like hell. So maybe
Right.
it's that kind of thing where that number
There's a
isn't
disassociation.
consistent. Right. I could see that, but only if it's been different numbers throughout
Yeah.
the series, which I don't.
Yeah, no, but I was all,
That yeah.
oh, I never thought about that. And you're right. I'm like, yes, obviously, yeah, we were married for 38 years. I'm like, wait, but you were only you can't be married for someone 38
It certainly
if
wasn't
you're-
uncommon to be married at 16, 17.
No, but 10?
That, yeah.
And then got stood up at prom, and they weren't married when they
Went to prom.
went to prom.
Yeah.
It was very hilarious to
And
me.
the golden years are supposed to be when you're 50s anyway.
Yes. Yeah. And so one of these things, I'm like, I'm such a fan of the show, and I'm just like, oh, I never even pieced that together.
I never thought about
I realized that Blanche's children just kept being different, and the amount of them,
They
and
needed a new issue.
literally.
A new issue to like, well, Blanche has another kid.
Yes, but I was like, oh, that. I'm like, that part I glossed right on over that.
Hmm. Well, you know what didn't get glossed over?
What?
The removal of Kesha from Timber
Oh
in
yes.
song credit, thumbnail representation, and name and likeness from the song. Which I do love the internet sometimes because people called this shit out like probably
Yes.
milliseconds after it happened. I guess Kesha stands are okay. Total removal, who knows what happened, because Pitbull says they don't know what happened, and that Kesha, he has a great song with her, and that blah, blah, blah.
So crazy.
Was that a Y2K glitch just happening
Right.
24 years later?
I mean, I know she spoke on it, and she said that like she like did a demo, and like it was like a reference singer, and they like just threw her on there, but it's. But yeah, it's I don't get the music industry sometimes, and I love it. But it's just so
Right.
interesting that you can put in work on something and then be erased.
Right? Well, she's not being erased. Pitbull says they don't know what happened. That just seems very, you know, purposeful.
That's the music industry. It's fucking horrible. It's like it's just so there's so many things that and so many people in the process of getting paid and approving who gets credited for things, and a lot of the time things are just swept under the rug and people don't want to address them or like fight for them. I will say this about Candy Burris from formerly of Real Housewives of Atlanta and Grammy award-winning songwriter who's written tons of hits, Bills, 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 No Scrubs. She gets ahead of that shit.
Mm.
And that's when she had that thing with Ed Sheeran when he had Shape of You because he interpolated No Scrubs on the melody of that song. And she called it out. And 2 days later, she's listed as a songwriter. I give Lizzo credit.
You have to advocate for yourself.
Right? But I also give Lizzo credit for that as well. For her huge hit when, took a DNA test, found out I'm 100% that bitch. Okay, well, she took that, but it was a common thing that people were saying on Twitter.
Yeah.
She did not know that it originated from one person
Right, it was
that
like a
started.
trend. Right.
Yeah,
You didn't know it was Mind for Demure.
Exactly, and she credited that random ass Twitter person, and now she has the credit on that song and has gotten paid for it.
Hey.
Do the right thing. Pay people who actually are involved in the art that you're creating. If you fuck up something, make it right. Billionaires that are trying to just lowball and skirt the people that got them their way.
Well, speaking of billionaires, I hate to bring this person up on the show, but someone has finally gotten J.K. Rowling to shut the fuck up.
Oh my god. I have her muted on Twitter. I have her blocked as an account, and I have her name muted so that it shouldn't pop up with any post. Another great feature, I will say, one of the good things that they've actually done.
Yeah.
You can mute words. I don't see Nicki Minaj shit. I don't see any astrology shit. I purposely went through it and muted every single star sign and the word astrology and the word horoscope and the words star signs. So I don't have to see any of that. If it does pop up, it slips through the cracks, or it just says, this post contains a word that you muted, and I can just keep on scrolling and it doesn't bother my feet anymore.
Well, she was named in I believe it's a criminal lawsuit for defaming the Olympic gold medalist, Iman Khalif, and a lot of other people were on this whole hate train. And ever since Miss Thing got served, and apparently,
thank God,
and apparently, it's not. She's fine, or someone has access to her account because she's been deleting.
She has. Again, bitch is blocked. So
I'm only seeing this because I'm on Threads, and even though I've swiped left so many times, and I see that name pop up, occasionally I still see something, and that was what people were kind of responding to the most. Where I'm not a lawyer, but apparently different laws in different countries, blah blah blah, that could be considered trying to get rid of evidence.
Why do screenshots are forever? I don't know why people even delete. I don't delete anything at all unless I misspoke about something.
Yeah.
Again, I say what I say. I said what I said, and it's not changing.
Threads does let you edit
Yes.
a post after you post it. So if you do have a typo.
Yeah. I have that on Twitter Blue now, so
Oh,
that's
'cause you
great.
have Blue,
Yeah.
that's right.
Mhm. Also,
Yeah,
I've been
I just
having
can't
so
go
much fun with that
Twitter.
stupid AI thing, but.
Oh yeah, the image thing. Yeah, what's
Yes.
that? Okay, so I have not been on Twitter. I just can't go on there, but I
Yeah.
know you like it. And you're still getting checks from Elon. So I feel somehow
Yeah.
you're gaming the system over there.
Oh, totally. He's blah too.
Yeah. But they have that new image thing, right? Where you can
Yeah,
just
so they have
type in
Grok,
whatever.
which is their like AI thing, and it's like a chat GPT or whatever for Twitter.
Yeah.
But you can be like, hey, generate an image of yada 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 yada, and it'll do it for you. And I've had some cool images actually, but just like Twitter and just like Elon, it is very flawed sometimes. I asked it, and I'm going to show you. I asked it two different things. I said, because I was like, at first it was cool. Like I was like, generate a pic of a black man with a goatee dressed up as Catwoman on a motorcycle with a New York City background.
Okay.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
Typical AI things. The fingers might not have been right or whatever. Yada 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 yada.
They really can't get fingers right.
Yes. I asked because I thought this would look cool to generate a picture of Kamala Harris as Catwoman, and then I did a separate one. I said, generate a picture of Kamala Harris as Wonder Woman. I thought that would be a cute AI pic. Somehow, this is what popped up, and I'm going to describe to you. I'm showing to you in person, and I'm going to describe for the audience.
Yeah.
The Catwoman thing, it gave me what looks like Aisha Tyler.
Yeah.
As Catwoman.
Aisha Tyler as Catwoman with hair fully out of the wig.
Yes, and then swipe to the left. And the next one, it gave me what looks like Eva Longoria as Wonder Woman. There's no Kamala Harris at all involved in either one of these pics, but it's definitely Aisha Tyler and Eva Longoria randomly. I don't, but it is fun to use. I did like the little, Trump holding the Harris. Yeah, that was great. Definitely still flawed because
the Wonder Woman costume has like shoulders, but they don't have any kind of like line drawn in. It's just a color.
Yeah,
which I don't actually mind variant Wonder Woman costume.
Yeah, and I don't mind that like one blue and one red sleeve on. Oddly enough,
or it could be
yeah, but that's goddamn Eva Longoria. That is not.
It's not.
That is not Kamala Harris.
Well, speaking of Wonder Woman, I'm so glad you brought up something Wonder Woman related.
What happened?
There is a new variant comic coming out. I believe Jim Lee is the one doing all of the reimagined heroes and their costumes. They're of course starting the Absolute series with the Trinity. How could you not? And it's going to be obviously Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman. So they gave Wonder Woman a whole new ground-up origin. No more Amazons.
Okay.
I presume that means no more Greek mythology. New costume is just like a red catsuit with a big metal W.
What am I looking at? Okay, now I see. All I saw was that sword.
Yeah, big
and
sword.
I was like, "Where's her head?"
Giant sword.
Is she? Why is half of
red eyes?
Why is half of her face black?
I don't know.
It looks kind of cyborg.
Red eyes and like a tattoo going on.
Yeah.
Big black boots. She got pants on. She got like ribbed pants.
Meh.
I'm like
not my favorite character design.
I'm not like loving the thing, but
Not to diss anyone's art. I hate it. See, he's the nice one. It's not my cup. I'm like, this is trash.
It's Wonder Woman, so I'm gonna be like, all right, here's what they're doing with it. But yeah, it's very
it looks very thrown together.
I just feel like they're going ground up, so they're kind of like starting from scratch.
Yeah.
Basically. So I love fresh ideas and new concepts. You never know. The costume could evolve, could change. I mean, it won't, but this is leading to a really, really, really unpopular opinion, and I don't know how many Jim Lee fans are listening to this show.
Uh-oh.
But I personally don't really like his style when it comes to creating these costumes or the things that people wear or like his wardrobing and his eye, I guess, is just not for me.
It's not your thing.
He's also the one that did, in my humble opinion, one of the worst Wonder Woman costumes ever.
Damn.
Even though I have a poster of it hanging up right there, it's still Wonder Woman. But that's the one that had the choker. It had the little metal choker with a W on it.
Oh, that was him?
Yes.
Oh.
Change the boots to blue because...
Why? Because it could, I guess, but...
That's the main reason I don't like this one.
You know,
Black boots?
Just because you can doesn't mean that you should.
Black boots?
I'm sure people said that about our show plenty of times.
I mean...
That ain't changing.
They could have gone with red and black. Come on.
That would make
Wouldn't
more
have been
sense.
that difficult. So, I know a lot of people do like his artwork. His artwork is amazing, but yeah, I just don't like his sense of style.
And style is subjective, so is art. But just because something is subjective does not mean that you can't have an opinion about it.
Right. So, yeah.
Good.
That's that. That's the tea on that. But, again, fresh ideas, could be fun.
Yes.
Who knows?
I still want a fucking Amazon movie.
There's going to be a whole series.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Called Paradise Lost.
I'm still pissed that fucking The Trenches movie from Aquaman
that's long
was
gone.
killed because that was the most interesting fucking part of the goddamn movie.
That would have been really fun.
Yes, I'm like,
bring that back.
Like, let's read. Yes, like that needs to be that needs to be a thing.
Revisit the trenches.
Yes, that was a great bit of cinema, and it really left you being like, how did these people get down here? Yeah. How did they form?
I mean, they kind of explained it a little bit.
Yeah, but like, I wanted a world built around that. I want to know more. And they were gonna do it, and then now they are not.
What are you gonna do?
Oh my god, random celebrity like information I gained last night. Well, my friend Alex.
It looked like it just like zapped into your mind.
It literally clicked in my head. So I mean, you met Alex. She is the mother.
Yes.
In your project, she bartends like events, and she's like, "Oh yeah, my friend invited me to something on I think Friday or Saturday, I can't remember what it was." And she was like, "Oh, I'd love to come, but I'm bartending this event that Shaq's DJing." And I said, "I'm sorry, Shaq who? Like Shaquille O'Neal? Shaq, the basketball player, Shaq? I guess he's a DJ now and has been for a while. DJs in Ibiza all the time with his son."
Good for him.
I mean, he
family thing.
He did try rapping for. Remember in the 90s when like basketball players were all trying to be rappers. Kobe Bryant had a song.
God.
He had a fucking rap song.
Shaq has done a lot.
Remember when The Rock had a song?
He-
It doesn't matter. That just came in my head right now as well. If you don't know what I'm talking about,
Oh,
just go to
gosh.
YouTube. It's hilarious
Oh,
and ridiculous because he was actually very serious about it. It's
not everybody should
just,
sing.
I mean, I guess when you have more money than God, you can just go ahead and try whatever hobby you want to do, and I say good for them for that. But it's just such a. I was like, wait, what? Shaq is DJ? Okay.
I mean, he's got the money for really good equipment.
Yeah,
I'm
hell,
sure.
Paris Hilton can fake DJ. I mean, maybe he can actually DJ. And this is not a dig at Paris Hilton, but it's the truth because there's plenty of videos of her just kind of fiddling with
Yeah,
fucking
it's pretty made.
yeah
It's
turntables,
obvious.
and nothing even matches up, and it's like you're making an appearance at a DJ booth, basically. Say what it is.
Oh God. Yeah, I know. There are so many really good DJs. They're probably just like heads are exploding. thinking about
Yes.
that shit.
Oh my god. Wait, did we talk about the breakdancing last week on the Olympics? And how that came to
No.
be?
Oh my God, I feel like the Olympics was 3 years ago.
I know, and it felt like 8 when it was actually
While
going
it was
on.
on.
Okay, so I know everyone saw this
Is
whole
this all there is now?
right. So you know me and my deep dives about
Mhm.
things that I have absolutely no interest in for the most part, but I'm just nosy and curious. So I was
I
running
just know the memes of this lady flopping around like a fish.
like a fucking magic harp,
yeah.
yes. So I was like, how did this happen? Why did this happen? When did this become a thing? And oh Lord, and with most things that I'm curious about things that I just have no interest in normally, I always uncover some giant, like, bombshell. So let's explain how this even happened. Okay, so there's a thing called, and I'm saying this just, I think this is what it's called, but this is an actual organization. I think it's called like the World Dance Federation or something, or organization, whatever.
Sure.
They've been trying to get ballroom dancing in the Olympics for decades now. And the Olympics says, well, that's an art, it's not a sport. So no. Well, they've been trying. So someone had the bright idea, because breakdancing is very athletically, inclined. Like that's part of it. You have to be kind of a gymnast, and you have to be able to spin and do all these things.
Spin, people do
It's definitely different than
handstands all the
ballroom dancing, where it's more
time.
footwork, and it is an art form.
Right, but breakdancers flip. and
Yes,
they do all kinds of
exactly.
stuff.
So they were like, well, we're gonna submit this. Well, and this explains a lot too. The breaking community, mind you, because this is something that was formed out of hip hop and was made by black creators in America, and they're serious about their craft and it's part of the culture. They said, we don't want this in the Olympics because we don't want a bunch of people who aren't serious about what we do to
Yep.
just be a part of this. Like, our thing is still underground. Mind you, you would get kicked out of school for breakdancing sometimes. It's a very small subculture, and they're serious about their shit. Well,
The Olympics said, we're going to do it anyway.
the Olympics granted this, but they needed so many people to be in it. So when the breaking community said, nope, not at all, they just kind of went after whoever wanted to consider themselves a breakdancer. But they had to actually submit into the World Dance Organization and pay registration dues.
This sounds like one of those
Yes.
goofy movies
Yes.
from Australia or something.
Oh, that's funny you mentioned that, 'cause it's going there.
Swear to God.
So it's only $80 to even join this thing.
Oh, God.
And because it was basically blacklisted by the actual breaking community, people just kind of who wanted to signed up for it, and they were just kind of approved regardless.
Oh God, it's this ultra.
So the lady, who's from Australia, did the registration process.
It is one of those movies.
Yes.
Oh my
But
god.
funny thing is that she actually did win a lot of awards in Australia for her breakdancing, along with her husband, who is also a breaker, if you even want to call it that. And
It's getting harder to...
there were only 2 entries in Australia. So they just got let in. You or I could have gone in there, paid $80, did a couple moves, and been an Olympian. So this is why the level of talent that got through is where it was, because this organization wanted to be part of the Olympics so badly. And they've been shut down year after year after year after year because the ballroom thing. They were like, fuck it, let's see breakdancers. Oh, the community doesn't like it? Fuck them too. Let's just have anyone come in that gives us $80 and we're going to put you on an Olympic stage. And I am one disappointed because you don't disrespect someone's culture like that because your organization wants to be represented by something. But 2, I'm also very pissed because had I known it was that fucking easy, I would have paid $80 and done something and been on TV and promoted the show. And at least gotten like some endorsements or some fucking appearance fees to do something.
Way better than that routine.
Yes!
I'm absolutely 100% certain.
But yes, this is, that is how it happened.
That really is.
Which is nuts to me that in 2024, you could have just paid $80, and because there was such a lack of entries.
It just sounds like such a bureaucratic
yes!
kind of silliness.
I could have been representing the fucking
God.
Wonder Studio for an audience of millions had I known this information beforehand and had a spare $80. Could you imagine?
Richie, you're just pissed.
This would have been hilarious, though.
Oh my god.
I would have done whatever just to. Cause I wouldn't have taken it seriously at all. I wouldn't have cared if anyone laughed at me.
That's all I got.
Same. Thanks for tuning in.
Show.
Oh my goodness.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Be sure to check out our sponsors and our show notes and save some money by using our coupon codes. Until next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.